We all set? Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. First and foremost, I trust and hope everyone had a good weekend and good Patriots Day. Prior to that, last Friday, grand jurors here in Suffolk County indicted Dr. Derrick Todd, a rheumatologist and general practitioner, on more than 80 sexual assault charges, including rape, assault with intent to rape, and indecent assault and battery. These crimes occurred over a 5-year period and included 22 female victims, ranging in ages from 17 to 56 years old, who entrusted themselves to Dr. Todd's care. He carried out his calculated victimization of his patients in clinical settings with alarming deception at Boston's Brigham and Women's and Faulkner hospitals. Dr. Todd will be arraigned in Suffolk Superior Court on a date to be determined soon. We anticipate it may be as early as this week. This is an extraordinary set of indictments, not just for the sheer volume of charges and number of women assaulted, but for the fact that all these women were violated by one person, a medical professional, the one person they entrusted to help them in their time of need. Many of these women had complicated and gravely serious symptoms and conditions. Some were in excruciating pain. Many were desperate for relief. They placed themselves under the care and treatment of Dr. Todd, believing that he could help them. They all placed their hopes for healing in Dr. Todd. They all placed their deepest trust in Dr. Todd. And Dr. Todd intently groomed them all into quiet submission. He preyed upon their vulnerability. Dr. Todd violated and betrayed their hope and trust, time after time after time. He did so in ways that are quite simply almost unimaginable. Make no mistake, the allegations contained in these indictments outline serial sexual crimes that have little or no equivalent in the history of Suffolk County. Simply put, the scale of victimization and the magnitude of trauma left in the wake of these allegations is something we have never encountered. Given the volume and complexity of an array of medical circumstances, fully constructing this case took an enormous amount of effort by many people. I want to thank Assistant District Attorney Ashley Mastrangelo, Second Assistant Byron Knight, our victim witness advocates Kelly Cronin and Nicole Crosta for their steadfast dedication to the facts and law in putting this case before the grand jury. I also want to thank Detectives Jesse Goff and Mary Rooney of the Boston Police Department's Sexual Assault Unit for their extraordinary professionalism and tireless pursuit of the facts in this case. And I want to thank this entire team for your commitment to justice and healing for Dr. Todd's survivors. And most especially, I want to thank all of the incredibly courageous women who have come forward. You've all been dignified, gracious, and patient in getting us to this point. Your commitment to tell your stories in the pursuit of justice, despite tremendous pain and difficulty, both physically and emotionally, deserves our utmost appreciation and respect. I want each survivor to know that we stand with you now and that we will be standing with you at every step of the way as this case moves forward. Thank you. I'm now going to turn it over to Police Commissioner Michael Hawks.
Boston Police Department, and particularly our Sexual Assault Unit, is committed to conducting victim-focused investigations with compassion and empathy. The nature and scope of this investigation presented significant complexities that could only be overcome with hard work in conjunction with working with the District Attorney's Office and all our other many partners, agencies that work in this field. Personally, I want to acknowledge all the survivors of this incident for their courage to come forward and work with us to hold this individual accountable. The goal is hopefully this never occurs in our county again, and more importantly, that no one that has a position of trust violates people that come to them in this way ever again.
Any questions?
Is Dr. Todd going to be allowed to turn himself in? And do you expect that he'll be permitted to post bail or be released on his own recognizance?
Dr. Todd is already out on conditions of release in matters out of Middlesex, so we'll simply be having him appear on these cases.
If that's the case, given the magnitude of these charges, I mean, do you expect that would change at all with respect to what's happening in Suffolk?
I don't expect that it will change at all. I don't. District Attorney actually, Mr. Angelo can address that if you want.
Certainly. This morning, members of the Boston Police Department did hand serve Derrick Todd at his home. They left notice for him to appear in Suffolk Superior Court. We expect him to turn himself in on those charges. He does have pending charges in Middlesex. We review the issue of bail day by day as things continue to unfold.
Yeah, can you give us a better idea of the timeline? Some of these allegations date back to 2017. At what point did they come to light here in Suffolk County? Because obviously there was a case in Middlesex, and then there's the civil case. When did this investigation get started here in Suffolk County?
Yeah, the incidents that happened, that my understanding has happened between the time frame of 2017, maybe 2018, all the way up to 2023. We have been examining and investigating for quite some time prior to going to the grand jury. That entire process took a considerable amount of time, given the complexity of the case, given the necessity for expert testimony and a whole host of other issues. And not also, let's not forget, we have 22 victims. That's a number that we've never seen before. Over 80 charges. Ashley, I don't know if you want to say anything more than that, but.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I can say that this was reported in 2023, and over the last few years, thousands of pages of medical records have been reviewed by this team, as well as an expert retained to review these incidents to determine what might be medically appropriate or not, as well as cell phone downloads for text messages by Derrick Todd to his patients, and then follow-up interviews for each of these women.
Any other questions?
If I could follow up on that, the law about prosecuting physicians for raping patients changed in 2024. So I'm curious about this conduct, which obviously occurred before then, or it's alleged to have occurred before then. How did the old law impact you bringing these charges in this case?
So one of the challenges in a prosecution such as this, because of course it does predate any changes, is whether or not a person consents to a quote unquote procedure under the terms of trickery or deceit, which is called fraud in the inducement, which means that what the person obtains consent for is for the wrong reasons. That's not long been recognized as rape in Massachusetts. However, in this case, what Derrick Todd did is not what he obtained consent for. So these pelvic exams and breast exams were not at all what he did. So we consider that to be fraud in factum. We consider what he did to be well beyond the scope, and we intend to bring that before the court now.
We good?
Thank you,
folks.
Thank you.